All right, today we're going to do something pretty cool. We are cracking open a leadership blueprint that is, get this, 2,000 years old. We're diving into 1 Timothy chapter 3, and we're going to break it down, not like some dusty old text, but like a step-by-step guide for building an unforgettable leader. Let's build this character profile together, verse by vivid verse.
So let's just jump right in. Picture this. You're looking at a job description for a super important, high-stakes leadership role, but it was written 2 millennia ago. So what do you think is on it? You can forget all the corporate buzzwords we use today. This blueprint, it's all about one thing: character.
But before we even get to the long list of qualifications, the text does something really important. It sets the stage first. It's all about the why. It establishes the right mindset, the motivation. It answers that big question, why would anyone even want this job in the first place?
Okay, let's kick things off with verse 1. Right out of the gate, it says that wanting this role, well, it's a good thing. It's a good work. See, this isn't about climbing a ladder or getting status. It's about aspiring to do something truly noble. To really lock this in, just picture someone standing on a hill, looking out towards this beautiful sunlit horizon. That's the feeling. This isn't ambition for ambition's sake. This is the beginning of a really meaningful journey.
All right, now the real work begins. We're going to start building our first leadership profile, the overseer, or as it's sometimes called, the bishop. The best way to think about this is like you're creating a character in a movie or a video game. Every single verse we look at is going to add another critical layer to this portrait, painting a picture of who this person has to be, both inside and out.
So verse 2 hits us with a whole list of traits right off the bat. It starts with blameless. Now, that doesn't mean they're perfect. Nobody is. It means they have a rock-solid reputation, nothing people can really point a finger at. Then it says they're faithful, self-controlled, respectable, and even hospitable. Someone whose door is always open. But here's the kicker. They have to be able to teach. For this one, picture a lighthouse keeper. Just imagine this steady, reliable person. Their light, that's their knowledge, their wisdom, and it's guiding all these ships, the people, safely through some really rough seas. That's the vibe.
Okay, on to verse 3. This one's interesting because it flips the script. It gives us a list of don'ts, all the things a leader absolutely must not be. We're talking no addictions, not being aggressive, and definitely not obsessed with money. Instead, the focus is on being gentle, a peacemaker, someone who is content. The mental picture for this, think of a master gardener. See them carefully, gently tending to these really delicate flowers. Their touch is nurturing, right? It's not destructive or heavy-handed. They're all about cultivating growth, not crushing it. Verse 4. Wow, this one really brings the focus right into the living room. It says a leader's ability is first proven at home, with their own family. To really see this, imagine a family dinner table. It's not chaotic or full of tension. Instead, the father is leading with a kind of respectful authority, not being a dictator. There's just this feeling of loving order and mutual respect.
And this really gets to the core of the whole blueprint. It all starts at home. A person's private life, their family life, that is the real training ground for public leadership. It's where your true character gets built. And the text really drives this point home with an undeniable piece of logic.
And then verse 5 just comes right out and says it. It lays out the logic with this question you just can't argue with. It's like, hey, if you can't manage your own household, how in the world are you going to take care of a whole community? It's so clear. To really burn this into your brain, picture a split screen. On one side, you see a house that's just a total mess, completely chaotic. And on the other side, a community group that's disorganized and just falling apart. The image just connects the two, showing you that the same problems in one place will absolutely show up in the other.
Now let's talk about verse 6. This one is a big warning sign. It's about promoting someone too fast. A novice, someone new to all of this, could easily get puffed up with pride from their new authority. And pride, well, pride is framed as the ultimate danger here. The visual for this is perfect. Think of a skinny little sapling, a baby tree, trying so hard to look as big and strong as the giant ancient oak tree right next to it. You can just see its immaturity, right? You know that one strong gust of wind would just knock it flat.
And that brings us to verse 7, which wraps up the profile for the overseer. This is huge. It says their good reputation can't just be with their friends. It has to extend to people on the outside too. Even people who aren't part of their community should look at them and say, yeah, that's a person of integrity. So let's picture this. A respected man is just walking through the town square and everyone, the baker, the blacksmith, you name it, greets him warmly with genuine respect. His good character isn't a secret. It's public knowledge.
Okay, so we've pieced together the entire profile of the overseer. That's part 1 done. Now, the blueprint introduces a second leadership role, the deacon. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Build out their character profile piece by piece, verse by verse.
So verse 8 kicks things off for the deacon, and right away you'll see some similarities. They've got to be dignified, not controlled by greed or addictions, but then there's this new one, not double-tongued. What does that mean? It means they're straight shooters. They say what they mean, and they mean what they say. They aren't telling one person one thing and somebody else the complete opposite. Just picture someone with a single, clear, transparent face. They're speaking with 100% sincerity. With them, what you see is always what you get.
Verse 9 goes a bit deeper. This isn't just about how you act on the outside. It's about what you believe on the inside. It says they have to hold on to the deep truths of the faith with a pure conscience. It's about integrity. The image that really captures this is of a person, and they're holding this fragile, glowing orb super close to their heart. You can see they're protecting something incredibly precious, and they're doing it with real honor.
You know, what's really fascinating about verse 10 is that it adds a trial period, a probation. This isn't a job you just get to jump into. Nope, there's a testing phase first, to see if their character is the real deal. The best way to picture this is to think of a master potter. He's just taken a new pot out of the kiln. He's not just going to sell it. He's inspecting it, tapping it, checking for any tiny cracks. And only when he's sure it's flawless does he say, okay, it's ready. That's the testing process.
Now, verse 11 specifically turns the spotlight onto the character of the leaders' wives. It says they also need to be worthy of respect. They can't be slanderers or gossipers. Instead, they're known for being self-controlled and totally trustworthy. For the visual here, just focus on a dignified, trustworthy woman. Maybe picture her giving some wise, calm advice to a friend. Her words aren't about tearing people down, they're all about building them up.
And here we are at verse 12, and it brings us back to a theme we've already seen, right? It's that echo of what was required for the overseer. A deacon also has to be a faithful husband and manage his own family well. It just hammers home that point. Leadership is proven at home first. A great way to picture this is a father patiently teaching his kid how to ride a bike. You can just feel the gentle guidance, the patience, the care in that moment.
So what's the payoff for all this? Verse 13 tells us the result of serving well. And listen, it's not a bigger office or more money. The reward is a fantastic reputation and this deep, confident boldness in their faith. To really see the transformation, imagine a person who used to be super nervous, always standing in the back of the room. But now, because of their faithful service, they're standing right at the front. Not with arrogance, but with this quiet, firm conviction, speaking with a confidence they never had before.
Okay, so we've built these two incredibly detailed character profiles. But why? What's the point of all this? What's the ultimate purpose of having leaders like this? Well, the chapter is about to pivot to its grand finale. It's going to reveal the massive, foundational belief that these leaders are meant to protect. And it builds the suspense a little. Before we get to the big reveal, verses 14 and 15 set the stage perfectly. The author, Paul, is basically saying, hey, I'm writing all this down so you know how to conduct yourselves in the house of God, which he calls the pillar and ground of the truth. Whoa. So these leaders, they aren't just managers. They are guardians. They are literally holding up the central truth of everything. And then bam! Verse 16 unveils what it calls the great mystery of godliness, and it's laid out like this short, powerful poem, a creed. It's like its own mini-movie. Let's walk through it. First, God was manifested in the flesh. Picture a humble, quiet birth. Then, justified in the Spirit. Imagine a brilliant, glowing light of affirmation. Next, seen by angels, cosmic beings witnessing this incredible story. After that, preached among the Gentiles. The message just spreads like wildfire across all nations. Then, believed on in the world. Picture hands from every corner of the earth reaching up in belief. And the finale, received up in glory, a triumphant ascension into the heavens. This is the truth these leaders are called to guard.
And just like that, our visual journey through this ancient leadership manual comes to a close. We've seen a blueprint that's not built on skill, but on character. Not on charisma, but on a consistency that starts in the home and works its way out. So it really just leaves us with one final thought to chew on. That was the blueprint back then, but what about right here, right now? In our world today, what part of it do you think matters most?